What's sapping your strength could be happening while you sleep. You've already woken up, and even without pain, something was wrong? You sit on the edge of the bed, feet on the floor, the world silent around you. But your body, no response. It's not that it hurts. It's like it's off. As if your legs needed a few more seconds to remember how to support your weight. As if your body needed permission to move. And in those seconds, you wait. And maybe, without realizing it, you've already accepted this as part of aging. But I want to tell you something that perhaps no one has said until today. This is not normal. And most importantly, this can be avoided. Have you ever noticed how getting up from a comfortable chair has become more difficult? Or how short walks require pauses, longer breaths, a little more courage? You may have noticed that your balance is no longer the same. That a staircase, once simple, now inspires fear. And then comes that silent thought, I'm getting old. But what if I told you that what you feel, it's not just aging? What if it's something more? Something is happening within off your body. Every afternoon, there is a silent condition known as sarcopenia. She doesn't scream, does not warn. She just steals. It steals your strength, your balance, your freedom. Steals slowly, night after night, until one day, you fall. Or needs help getting up. Or you stop doing what you love. Not because of a lack of will, but because of a lack of strength. And what's even scarier, this doesn't just happen when you stop exercising. It happens while you sleep. While you rest, believing that your body is recovering. In fact, he may be destroying himself. Imagine this. You lie with a body, and wakes up with another one, weaker than the night before. All because something essential was missing before going to sleep. A gesture, a choice, a meal. The Shaolin master Shi Hang Yai teaches us that the body is like a temple. But a temple cannot survive with empty walls. It needs foundations, support, vital energy. And now, he reveals what few know. A simple meal, consumed at the right time, can change this scenario completely. A food that not only prevents muscle loss, but helps rebuild. Even if you are over 60, 70, or 80 years old. Modern science confirms this. Studies show that certain nighttime foods can activate muscle regeneration during sleep, giving back what time seems to have taken from us. They are not magic formulas. They are invitations to the wisdom of the body. Silent healing instruments. And among all of them, there is one that stands out. One that could be the turning point between decline and renewal. Imagine waking up in the morning with firmer legs, the lightest hands, confidence restored. Imagine feeling your body cooperate again. That life suddenly became lighter, more possible. It is not necessary to just dream about it. You can live this. And it all starts with a small gesture before bed. A meal, a decision, and listen to your own body. Get ready to discover what your nights might be missing. And that can profoundly transform your days. Because your strength has not disappeared. She's just waiting to be woken up. What you feel is not imagination. It's not a whim. Nor is it an inevitable consequence of age, as many repeat. The truth is that your body is trying to communicate with you. And the signs are clear, if you know how to listen. You feel your legs wobble. Knees tremble as you climb a step. Arms are slower to reach something on the shelf. Or that little loss of balance when you turn quickly. And what comes next? A sigh. An automatic phrase. It's normal, I'm already over 60 years old. But it isn't. The body does not abandon you over time. The thing is, without realizing it, you may be leaving your body. Not by choice, but due to lack of knowledge. For not knowing that there is a different way to experience aging. A way in which the body doesn't shut down, it wakes up. Shi Hang Yi, the Shaolin master, teaches us that every weakness has a source, and that many times is not in the muscles. But in this way we stop taking care of the energy that feeds these muscles. It's like a plant that withers without water. Without light, it loses its color. But when it receives proper care, it is reborn. Strong, resistant, full. At 60, 70, 80 years old. Your body still thirsts for life. He doesn't just want to survive. He wants to walk, hug, dance, care, serve. But you need something for that. And that something, it starts at night. While you sleep, your body works. But if he has nothing to work with, he will look within himself. It will consume your reserves. It will destroy what it was supposed to protect. It will break down your fibers, drain your energy, and make you wake up more tired than when you went to bed. This is the reality for thousands of people who lose muscle mass while they sleep, without knowing it, without feeling, until fragility becomes routine, and routine becomes a limitation. But now you know, and when the truth awakens, there will be no going back to how it was before. Because what you feel when you wake up, that feeling of heaviness in your legs, of stiffness, of sluggishness, is not just a sign of aging. It is a silent request. It's the body saying, "Feed me before I sleep. Prepare me for healing." And that's why this video came to you. Not by chance, but as a vocation. A chance to recover what time tried to take away from us. An opportunity to reconnect with your true strength. You are here because something inside you still beats. I still believe. I still want to. And that spark can become a flame. With proper care at the right time and with proper nutrition. If this message resonated with you, if something inside you said, yes, when you heard these words, so follow us. Subscribe to this channel and walk with us. Here each video is a step towards awareness, strength, and healing. Because your body deserves more than a diagnosis. He deserves wisdom. And wisdom begins with listening. And right now, you're listening. And that, in itself, is already a cure. It's funny how we learn, from a young age, that growing old means becoming weaker. As if old age comes with a kind of silent contract. Lose muscle, lose energy, lose independence. But this idea, so common, is only a belief, and one of the most dangerous. Because when we believe it's natural to weaken as we age, we stop looking for what can strengthen us. We accept pain as destiny. We accept tiredness as routine. And, without realizing it, we surrender our bodies to decomposition, not because they're old, but because we've stopped nourishing them with what they really need. Master Shi Hang Yi invites us to a simple but powerful reflection. What if it's not age but habits that weaken the body? What if what we call natural decline is actually the result of years without the right nutrients at the right time? Imagine an ancient warrior, strong, disciplined, with years of training behind him. Now imagine that you stop eating for weeks. Lack of proteins. There is no power. Lack of attention. What's wrong with him? He collapses. Not for lack of inner strength, but because it no longer has the fuel to sustain it. This is your body. After 60, the body begins to face a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. This means that you no longer absorb nutrients as easily as you did in your youth. Even if you eat well throughout the day, your muscles don't get everything they need. Especially at night, when the body enters a state of prolonged fasting and needs protein to repair itself. Without these proteins, it begins to waste away. This is what has been happening to you, even if it is in silence. During sleep, the body seeks energy to maintain its vital functions. And if there isn't enough food in the system, it takes it from the muscles. Yes, your own body consumes its energy reserves to continue functioning. That's why you feel weak when you wake up. Therefore, even getting out of bed requires effort. It's not the age. It is the lack of the right gesture at the right time. It's the lack of a habit that could make all the difference, nourishing the body before bed. But the good news is this: there is time. The body, even after decades of wear and tear, has the extraordinary ability to regenerate. The fibers can be rebuilt. Strength can be regained. Vitality can return. You just need to remember what you already knew. From the simple and ancient wisdom that tells us, eat like someone who cares for a temple. Take it easy, with intention, regarding timing, because it is not the birthday number that weakens the body. It is the forgetting of that which sustains it. And right now you are remembering. And when memory awakens, the body begins to rebuild itself. In silence, at your own pace, with your truth. There's a silent enemy in your routine. and it hides in small, almost invisible gestures. He doesn't scream. It doesn't hurt right away. It doesn't appear on the exams. But over time, it erodes your inner strength, minute by minute. In the darkness of the night, when the world is silent, that's where he acts. It is the custom of sleeping with an empty body. Maybe you had a good day. I ate. I drank water. I even rested a little in the afternoon. But when night falls, you just lie down. Sin ritual, without a gesture of preparation, without giving the body what it needs to rebuild what it has spent throughout the day. And it is in this interval, between the last meal and the first sleep, that the loss begins. This enemy does not present itself with noise. He arrives with a yawn, with a crack in the knees, with the feeling that the bed is moving further and further away from the floor. And every night, without proper nutrition, he celebrates, because he knows that in silence they will take away his strength. You might think, but I already had dinner, or I've gotten used to it. But getting used to weakness is not natural. It is just a reflection of the repetition of an invisible error, a mistake that has become part of the routine, a mistake that is camouflaged under the name of age. But look, age is not to blame. She's just the stage. The play being performed is a habit. When you go to bed on an empty stomach, especially without protein, your body has nothing to work with. And, as we said before, you will get energy from where you shouldn't, from your own muscles. This process has a name. It's called nocturnal catabolism. But the name doesn't matter here. Impact matters. And the impact is this: you wake up weaker than when you went to bed. Even if you slept for hours, even if you have rested deeply. Wisdom is not only in the dream. It's about consciously preparing to sleep, with a light but powerful meal, with nutrients that will nourish not only the body, but the soul, with the care given to something sacred. Because your body is a temple, and every temple needs maintenance, out of jealousy, of reverence, especially when night falls and your eyes close. There are foods that, when consumed at the right time, act as guardians during the night. They protect your muscles. They repair what has worn out. And they wake up with you the next day, like invisible but present allies. You don't see them, but you will feel his presence in the lightness when you get up, in the firmness of walking, in the silent joy of feeling whole once again. If this message resonated with you, if it brought back memories or concerns, then maybe it's time to take a closer look at your little habits. They shape their strength, your vitality, your freedom of movement. And if at any point in this video you felt a yes in your chest, if you felt like these words touched something true, so enjoy this content with your heart, not just as a digital gesture, but as a sign that you heard, and he's ready to change. Because the first step of transformation, he is listening. But then what can be done? How to rebuild a body that, little by little, was left behind? How to recover muscles that seem to have fallen asleep over time? The answer is not in expensive formulas or unattainable promises. She is into simplicity, in the ancestral, in what already inhabits the earth and time. The first key is the lightly boiled egg, preferably in the form of a poached or soft-boiled egg. It's not just food, it's living force. Eggs, in their round and delicate shape, carry the perfection of nutrients, a precise combination of essential amino acids that nourish your body's structure, as if filling brick by brick an ancient temple under reconstruction. And among these amino acids, there is one that is especially sacred, to leucine, which awakens the call of muscle growth. When eaten before bedtime, this food works silently. You sleep and the egg acts, helping your body rebuild itself from the inside out. The second ally is gentle but powerful: almond butter. Dense, creamy, full of warmth and nourishment. It provides the body with good fats, vitamin E and magnesium, which are so often lacking. This mineral not only strengthens muscles, it also relieves them. It's like a prayer for the nerves. And there's something even more beautiful. Almond butter also contains arginine, which helps transport more blood to the muscles, like a river flowing again after a period of drought. And if you want a deeper, more restful sleep, then listen fondly to this name: sour cherry juice. Yes, it seems like a nice touch, but there is a hidden gift in red fruits. This special cherry contains compounds that reduce inflammation, speed recovery, and perhaps most importantly, stimulate natural melatonin production. You don't just sleep. You enter a sacred dream, deep, and in that true rest, your body heals. It touches every muscle fiber, as if invisible hands were sewing what was once broken. Another gesture of wisdom is to add a handful of pumpkin seeds. These seeds, so small, hide a world. Magnesium, zinc, pure protein from nature, and once again, tryptophan, which soothes the mind and prepares the spirit to rest in peace. These seeds not only feed, they connect you to the earth, to the simplicity of planting something living inside you. Then, for those who prefer something creamier, there is the Greek yogurt. Dense, balanced, full of slow-absorbing proteins. While you sleep, it remains, gradually releasing the amino acids that sustain your muscles. It's like time is stretching out, and the night would cease to be a period of loss, and would become a journey of reconstruction. And if your appetite is small, there is one last offer: cottage cheese. Smooth, light, packed with casein, a protein that dissolves slowly, like a silently recited mantra. It requires no effort to be digested, but its action is profound. Sustains, repairs, feeds the base. All these options have something in common. They not only nourish the body, they worship the night. They transform the simple act of eating into an act of healing. A ritual, a reconnection with what is essential. And the most beautiful, you don't need everything at once. Just choose one, with conscience, with love, and repeat. At the same time, with the same care with which you light a candle on the altar. And over time, you will see, the body responds, the strength returns. What seemed lost awakens, not like a sudden miracle, but as a truth that was finally remembered. Now that you know about food, it's time for something even deeper, ritual. Because eating is not enough. You have to honor the moment. Prepare the spirit, the environment, and the act of eating as if it were a sacred act. And indeed it is. In the culture of ancient monks and masters, meals were not eaten in a hurry. It was an offering, an encounter between body and soul, between the earth and silence. So when the sun begins to set, silence the distractions. Turn off the noise of the world. Move the screens away. Sit quietly, and turn your last meal of the day into a moment of presence. You can start with a small glass of warm water with lemon to prepare your digestive system. It's not an ordinary drink, it's a call to the body to gently awaken to what's to come. Then, as you prepare your meal, whether it's the egg, the yogurt, the seeds, or the smoothie, keep your mind silent. Avoid arguments, avoid the news, avoid rushing. The kitchen is a temple, and everything you touch with awareness carries your energy. Serve beautifully. Even if you are alone, prepare the dish as if it were for someone sacred, because it is. When chewing, breathe between bites. Try it. Feel the texture. Feel the body receiving. And when you're done, stay in a state of gratitude. This simple action changes everything. What would be simply eating becomes act of healing. But it doesn't end there. After eating, let the food settle inside you. Make a breathing 4, 7, 8. Inhale for a count of 4. Hold the position for a count of 7. Exhale counting to 8. Repeat 3 times. This pattern helps your system slow down, enter repair mode, and calm your mind. As if saying to the body, now is the time to rebuild. If you wish, you can also gently press a point just below the navel, right in the center of the lower abdomen. The ancients called it the sea of energy. Just touch with your fingers, without applying force. Stay there for a few minutes. This touch sends a signal. Regeneration begins here. You can also light a candle or some soft incense. The flame and the aroma speak to the unconscious. The sacred is here. And then, when you go to bed, consciously close your eyes. View. Imagine your body as a field of light. Each cell, a star. Each muscle, a tree that rises again. Feel the energy flowing towards you like a calm river. Water cleanses, nourishes, rebuilds. Visualize the muscles sewn together with golden threads. Every fiber is strengthened. Every weakness is welcome. His body rises in the silence of the night, as if healing angels were secretly touching him. And while you fall asleep, feel like you're not just resting. Is reborn. Every night, this ritual will grow stronger, more intuitive, deeper. And then, what was once a loss, it will become growth. What was once weakness, it will become silent force. There's no hurry. Time works in your favor. When you honor him with your presence, he reciprocates with vitality. Thus, night after night, gesture after gesture, the body learns to remember its true nature. Strong, alive, sacred. Now, with your body nourished and your mind calmer, you can begin to feel the effects of this silent but powerful change. It doesn't happen overnight, but with every small gesture, every act of self-care, your body begins to respond. You may not notice it at first, but little by little, a new energy begins to take hold of you. When you wake up in the morning, notice how much firmer your legs feel. Notice how your mind is clearer, less burdened by the weight of fatigue. What once seemed impossible, like getting up effortlessly, can become a reality closer than you imagine. The simple act of getting out of bed can become a moment of connection with your body, as if taking the first step toward a new path, a path of renewed strength. And don't think that the transformation happens only physically. As the days go by, your body begins to reflect this new practice, but your mind also adapts. When you dedicate yourself to caring for your body with such attention and completeness, you begin to feel that you are no longer just living, but becoming part of your life. Live with intention every night. By eating foods that rebuild you, you are creating a space of harmony between body and spirit, a healing space that expands over time. The truth is, as your body recovers, your soul feels relief too. The weight of daily stress slowly dissipates, and you realize that you're slowly growing stronger, not just in your muscles, but also in what you believe is possible for your life. It's as if physical and mental strength are intertwined, and what you do for one is reflected in the other. This cycle of healing and renewal occurs naturally. When you give your body what it needs to regenerate, it responds. But remember, you must be consistent, patient, and, above all, present. The journey isn't about rushing. It's about a commitment to yourself, about ongoing self-care. Your age doesn't matter. What matters is how you treat yourself now, how you choose to feed and nourish your body and mind. As the weeks pass, you'll begin to feel subtle changes. These aren't empty promises. They're real transformations. Your resilience will begin to strengthen, and your vitality will be renewed. You may begin to notice that your energy flows more easily, that small efforts don't require as much strength, that you feel lighter, more capable. Your path will become more steady. And, even in situations that were previously difficult, you'll notice that recovery is faster, that your body feels more resilient and more prepared. Now, as we conclude this moment of reflection, I invite you to share your own experiences. What happens to your body when you practice these habits? How do you feel when you wake up? What changes, however small, have you already begun to notice? Comment below, share your experience with us. Sharing experiences is essential on this path of transformation, and your story could inspire others to take the first step. And if this content touched something deep within you, like and share. When we connect through small actions, we create a network of care and empowerment that strengthens those around us. Every gesture, no matter how small, resonates, and together we can transform our experiences, our health, and our energy. Because, above all, you are not alone in this process. The journey is yours, but it's filled with support, sharing, and collective strength. Let's continue this journey together. As the days go by, you will begin to notice changes in your relationship with your body. The idea that time and age are invincible enemies begins to fade. By adopting these practices, you will realize that time, far from being a sentence, is a space that can be filled with renewal and strength. The body, far from being a failing machine, reveals itself more like a garden that, when well cared for, flourishes with the sweetness of time. As you repeat self-care rituals, the cycle of regeneration becomes increasingly natural. The night becomes a sanctuary of recovery, and sleep is no longer just rest. It becomes an opportunity for body, spirit, and mind to regenerate. Every meal, every act of self-care, is a silent prayer for transformation. Like a gardener tending the roots of a tree, you begin to realize that by nurturing your body wisely, it becomes stronger, firmer, and more resilient. What once seemed distant, a life of vigor, of boundless movement, begins to draw closer. You feel the difference when you stand up. You feel the lightness of your steps, the strength in your hands when you lift something. Your body no longer drags, it flows. Joints, once stiff, now move more fluidly. It's not a miracle. It's the natural process of a body that has been treated with respect, awareness, and the care of someone who understands the wisdom of truly nourishing itself. As your body begins to respond, you'll feel freer. Free not only from pain and physical limitations, but also mentally. What seemed like a barrier now becomes a bridge. Loss of balance, for example, begins to feel less. What was once an effort when standing up is now an almost intuitive movement. The body, well nourished, gains the confidence to express itself as it was created, strong, flexible, and vibrant. And, meanwhile, your mind also follows this change. The physical and mental are not separate. By improving your body, you also transform your way of seeing the world. Your self-confidence increases and your spirits soar. Each firmer step confirms that you are no longer at the mercy of time. You are the master of your own body, of your own health. This renewal occurs silently, but with immense power. It's not something you notice immediately, but looking back, after weeks of practicing these gestures, you'll understand that the transformation isn't a one-time event. It's constant, daily, and growing. Over time, what once seemed impossible begins to become part of your reality. And this is the power of a body that reconnects with its inner wisdom, with that which has always been present, waiting to be awakened. Time, far from being an enemy, becomes an ally in the growth process. When you allow each day to be a conscious act of care, you open the doors to the new. The passage of time doesn't rob you of strength. On the contrary, it renews it. The body, far from being a machine that wears out, is an organism that revitalizes itself. And with each new dawn, you will feel stronger, more capable, more present. Your body becomes lighter, but your mind becomes more grounded and calm. It is a journey of deep and gradual healing, where you reconcile with the ancient wisdom of treating the body as something sacred. This process of renewal is never rushed. It's natural, slow but steady. And as you walk this path, you will realize that true strength lies not in fighting against time, but in learning to collaborate with it, honoring every moment and every phase of life. Now that you've experienced the lightness of those first steps, it's essential to understand that true transformation occurs the moment you internalize the importance of taking care of yourself daily, without rushing or pressure. The change you begin to notice in your body isn't an isolated event, but rather a reflection of your ongoing effort to maintain habits that honor your being. Every day, what you sow grows stronger. The seeds you sow, through each mindful eating habit, each transformative habit, begin to germinate. As your muscles respond, becoming stronger and more resilient, a silent shift also occurs in your mind and spirit. You're not just regaining physical strength. You're reconnecting with your very essence. A connection that is lost when we ignore the body, when we neglect the need for balance between who we are and what nourishes us. What the body offers us in return for this dedication isn't just increased movement or flexibility. It offers us something deeper. It offers us a sense of freedom, the freedom of not being limited by our own weaknesses, by the old beliefs that told us that old age meant weakness. As you regain your physical vigor, an invisible energy begins to take hold of you. You feel lighter, freer, as if an invisible weight has been lifted from your shoulders. It's important to understand that this renewed strength isn't just physical. It's reflected in the way you see yourself. The change you feel in your body also alters your perspective on the world around you. The fatigue that once seemed insurmountable begins to dissipate, and with it, the fear of fragility. The loss of balance is no longer a shadow that haunts you. You begin to walk with more confidence, and not only that, you begin to breathe more deeply, with more intention, more calmly. Your mind calms as your body finds its harmony, as if a new breath has been given not only to your lungs, but also to your perspective on life. Every day is an opportunity to reconnect with your inner power. The small actions you take, the care you take with your food choices, the attention you pay to your rest rituals, the patience you show your body as it responds, are the seeds that will guarantee a more balanced, more vigorous, and purposeful life. It's not about waiting for everything to happen quickly, but rather understanding that every moment dedicated to self-care will impact your entire existence. It's not about rushing the transformation. It's about embracing it with patience, with acceptance. Because true strength comes from the ability to give your body what it needs to recover, and this recovery is a journey, not a destination. The body isn't something you can pressure or force back into its former state. It's a fertile ground that, when nurtured with patience, begins to flourish anew. And every transformation in your body, every moment you feel stronger, healthier, more capable, is a reminder of what's possible when you respect the rhythm of everything. Aging doesn't have to be a phase of decline. It can be a period of rebirth, where the body and mind rebalance, restore, and become wiser and stronger. And this doesn't happen overnight. True transformation comes gradually, from the inside out, through the rhythm of daily self-care. This is the power of choice. The power to transform old age into a time of renewal. And when you understand that this power is in your hands, the idea of weakness dissolves, giving way to a serene and enduring strength. Body, mind, and spirit are renewed not through grandiose effort, but through the simplicity of small choices made with love, awareness, and the understanding that every moment is an opportunity to live fully. Now, as you reflect on all this, understand one thing. What you've just learned isn't just theory. It's a truth that can transform not only your body, but also your perception of aging. Simply changing the way you take care of yourself can trigger a cycle of renewal that extends far beyond your muscles. It reaches your mind, your spirit, and your entire outlook on life. You're now part of a special group of people who have decided to challenge the popular belief about aging. Instead of accepting limitations as inevitable, you've decided to take action. It's not just about increasing your physical strength, but about regaining the vitality you've always had within you. It's about reversing the effects of time and turning your body and mind into allies, not enemies. The journey doesn't end here. What you've achieved by connecting with these habits, learning about proper nutrition for your body, and incorporating self-care rituals is just the beginning of a profound transformation. And best of all, this transformation isn't limited to the physical. It extends to all areas of your life. With each restful night's sleep, with each new day when you feel stronger and more balanced, you'll see this reflected in how you see the world around you. This is not just a video. This is a call to a new cycle. A cycle in which you regains its true strength. And now, after you finish watching it, if you felt that this message touched something deep inside you, if something inside you said, yes, if you realized that this is the path you want to follow, then subscribe on the channel. Because transformation doesn't happen in an instant, but rather in an ongoing process. And by subscribing, you'll be sure you're not alone. Each new video is another step toward your evolution, another discovery about how to connect with your body and your health. If you felt that this made sense, if you now realize that true renewal is in your hands, I like this video and share it with someone who also deserves to live life with the same vitality. By liking it, you're not only strengthening your commitment to yourself, but you're also helping spread this message of empowerment and healing. Because the strength you seek isn't just yours, it's collective. It's ours. And don't end there. Comment below what you felt, the changes you're already beginning to notice, or even your questions. Your story can inspire others to take the first step. Every comment, every sharing, is a reminder that, even in the most difficult stages of life, we are never alone. We are all together on this journey of healing and renewal. Feel privileged to have watched this video. You're not just hearing words, you're being invited to transform your life. You're being called to recover the strength that resides within you and that you've never lost. What awaits you in life is not a race against time, but a dance of renewal, harmony, and balance. Now you understand, old age isn't the end. It's the beginning of a new journey where you can reinvent yourself stronger than ever. And this transformation, this rebirth, begins today.